Warning. The following program is a collection of dudes talking about the happenings in the CrossFit world. It is meant to be comedic, informative. The opinions, especially those of JY, do not necessarily reflect the beliefs of others on the show. If you take things out of context, please reconsider watching. Enjoy the show.
Welcome to The Spin, September 25th. Thanks, John.
That was the first time I did that. First take.
First take. Get it right the first time. I guess it's Link. Welcome. Magnus, we are never late. We are always on time, regardless of what the schedule says. CJ, welcome. Melanie Hodge, one of the most, the first members of the YouTube
patron.
channel.
OG.
Yeah. Good times. We watched the TYR Cup. Have you guys recovered from all of our spin casts?
Mm-hmm. I am recovered. It was not near as draining as the games.
No, definitely not as that. All right, we're going to go through some viewer comments. We did much better this past week. We're going to talk through the TYR Cup, yay or nay. We're going to see if we agree with Mr. Andrew Hiller. Then we're going to MetFix and chill. What do we think about Greg Glassman's new thing?
You'll have to explain that to me.
I'll do my best.
Thank you.
Blind
A
rankings.
candy bar.
Yeah.
I figured that out.
Blind rankings, and then Emma's out. So we'll go into some of that stuff. And then at the very end, we're going to try to wrap it up by 8 o'clock Central, 6 p.m. Pacific. Savon and Hiller, John, I think, are you joining?
I will be there.
They're going to go through, was it the most influential CrossFit games?
Popular. The most popular, your ranking of the most popular CrossFit Games male champion. We'll see if we can come to a list with all of us together. What's the word I'm looking for? A collective.
A consensus?
Yes, a consensus list of the most popular CrossFit Games champions.
That'll be something.
Is your full name Jonathan?
It is not. My full
You're
name
just John.
is John, man.
Just I never thought about that before, and I was like, wait, I don't even think that's correct.
No, but I'm very America, so just John.
Just John.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. All right, let's do some viewer comments. She's angry.
Who is that?
That's old girl.
Are we supposed to know her? Or did you pull that off the internet?
I have no idea who that person is.
This feels like
I'm sure it's
a kindergarten teacher.
She's very angry.
Sure.
Her name's Belinda, I believe.
Dude, I got suspended in kindergarten one time. I don't know if I got
Here we
suspended
go.
or like I had to leave for the day. I forgot what it was, but it was definitely kindergarten or first grade. And so I just made a tank in my head, and I'm just playing in my mind right now. And so I had it like this, right? But then I had my middle finger up, and that's the tank. And I was like, and I was
you were making the noises.
I was for sure. But I'm just playing in my head right now. Like, we're not doing nothing. And some kid told on me and was like, he's flipping me off and doing all this stuff. I didn't even know what that meant. I had no idea. I'm just trying
tanks.
I'm just trying to play tanks, man. And I got in trouble. I remember getting in trouble for it.
Where did that story come from?
Because she looks like a kindergarten teacher. That's
I'm
sorry. Yeah, I went on my own tangent on that. That's
true.
There you go. I was not lying about it.
Story time from John.
That is good. Eves 1503. Sounds like Eve's got the slides, the Lu Jiajun slides, because JY would not stop talking about them, and the red and white combo looks nice. So
good deal.
Yeah. Code SPIN, Lou Jajun gets you 10% off your favorite lifters, or in this case, some slides. So go check them out. I just got mine
Did you?
yesterday. Yeah. So I've not had a chance to wear them yet, but I got the bright silver one, so I look like I'm on the moon. So this one's good. Shelley Young. He also told the class that he was smarter than all of them. And that there was no Santa Claus.
Facts
Tell
don't
me
care-
Tell
facts
me
don't
that
care
was
about
at
your
the
feelings.
same time. I'm smarter than all of you, and there's no Santa Claus.
I think I don't think I said that to the students. I think I said that to the teacher. And I don't think I told the class I was smart.
I had a coworker one time, and you know how you send a letter to Santa, and they return he returns the letter. She did that, and it was postmarked from North Carolina. She was living in New Jersey at the time, and so she went to school and was like, "Did you know that Santa's from North Carolina?" Like, that's amazing. So, yeah, there you go. M. Birchfield. CrossFit has been trying with marketable people a little bit. Jocko Willink and Seth Rollins, for example. Josh Bridges is a huge opportunity, though. He used to CrossFit for the military, then competed at the games, and still trains CrossFit to be fit for life. People love him, and the fact he is still doing CrossFit after retiring from the games speaks to the value of the methodology. I do agree, though, that they need an average Joe Jane personality for us normal people who are not in the military or do professional wrestling. Do you agree with Mr. Birchfield, Tyler?
Yeah, I don't think that Jocko and some of the more famous people are Seth, definitely. Jocko, I think, is paying off a little more, but I don't think that pays off nearly as much as we think it does, as much as it does for them.
Yeah, there's another comment in there about some like more celebrities posting about stuff. I was like, you don't need the idol piece of it.
No.
Right? Like you need somebody that's real and actually, just because some celebrity does it, at least for me, I could care less what they're doing.
Me too.
They need to be a part of it. Like when we were talking, when I was saying like a Pat McAfee, I'm not just saying because they're getting paid to say it. I'm saying like, no, they've been bitten by the bug. They do it every day. They're a part of it. That's more of what I meant.
Yeah. If like Chris Pratt years ago, before he got like in shape, like it said, like, I'm going to use CrossFit to get in shape, and then like got jacked and like changed his life. And he had said like
if he was like, I couldn't have done Guardians of the Galaxy without CrossFit.
Like we would have just like everything I think that would be amazing for the methodology. But you can't like be like Seth Rollins where it's like, I do CrossFit whenever I'm not.
Yeah.
Tyson, why they're not using Tyson, I'll never understand, because he has done it and he continues to force himself like into doing it.
Yeah. Give it a season. And then when they're done with Caleb and then they go with Tyson for 1 year and then I think it'll be good.
Caleb's his first touchdown was this week.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
But they
give it like they're going to let him play for a long time though. Like it's their first. It's the number 1 pick. Like Justin Fields,
right?
They let him play for 3 years.
Well,
like they're gonna let him play for a long time. But like it does hurt knowing that Tyson is serviceable.
Right.
You know what I mean? As like an actual quarterback.
Tyson will get in somewhere. They'll trade him. They'll get a good value out of him, and he'll play.
Think when his rookie contract's over, I bet somebody picks him up. The way quarterbacks are. Like quarterbacks, you can't tell me Carolina wouldn't take him.
Oh no,
you know what I'm saying? Right. Which I don't know if
that was.
I don't know if he wants that,
but that was the thing. Peyton, I think Peyton's he threw more interceptions in his rookie season than anybody.
Yeah, but it was a wildly different time.
Yeah, because Indianapolis was trash. They were
right, but they didn't take him out, and they just kept letting him play, is what he said. And so it's like if they do the same thing with Caleb, like it's like the guys work through it. Peyton's one of the greatest of all time.
They're going, yeah, and that's why Peyton is why they're going to let them play through.
Yeah. CJ. So we need a B list actor before he comes an A list.
Yep.
I don't know if I agree with that.
Mm.
I don't.
We need a fat B list there.
Okay. I'll say this. You know, Christian Bale. If Christian Bale was like, the only way I could get back to Batman was through CrossFit. I do CrossFit like a lot, and that's how I can get to like, because he goes through body
wild.
transformations. Like he's like the best guy in the world as far as going through body transformations. You know, he'll go up to 250 at 25% body fat down to 200 at 11% body fat in 6 months. Now, you know, he's probably got other stuff working for him too, but that's an A-list actor that 100% that would do a lot. I think it would do a lot. But again, it can't just be like an advertisement. It's not like him in the open.
They have to, they have to post about it, talk about it themselves, like organically, not come out for an open announcement. And
they got to be bit by the bug. They're in it, you know,
and don't care that it's not part of their narrative of what they are as an actor, whatever they are to be famous. At official CF Media. So this is very, very official. Two things.
This is
First,
Madigan?
No, I don't think so. Tyler, if CrossFit is a religion, my dues should be tax deductible, just like the money I put in the collection plate.
Okay. Well, okay.
His second question.
I just about got myself on an FBI list there. Back that one back off.
Wasn't there a medical group headed up by two doctors they announced a few months ago? Where are they? They are more qualified to talk than Don.
Spin, you're the person to answer that question.
They're there. They're doing stuff.
They're around.
They're around. They do things. They were at the games. They were talking. They do stuff. It seems like a lot of their stuff you have to sign up for, get on their newsletter if you want to like get a hold of a lot of their content. Which, if anybody knows about trying to get people to sign up on a newsletter, it's not exactly the easiest to do. So, my guess is that more people probably could get it, but they have their own way of doing it. And it's just not, you gotta get it out there for free, right? And get people to see it if it's interesting.
I'll say, what's their little organization called?
The CrossFit Medical Society.
Man, if that doesn't sound like a sack tap, what's their little thing called? What I will say about the past, and this is just my perception and having watched almost zero of the stuff that they've put out, but in the past, when Greg did this stuff, it seemed genuine, as in, I want to make change. He had nothing really to gain from it other than like he wanted to get people into CrossFit gyms, which really like doesn't really change his pocket directly.
Right.
Their stuff has seemed very salesy. And I've just seen snippets and little bitty stuff, but it's like, it feels very salesy.
CrossFit Medical Society, Virtuosity in Health, 60,000 followers. It used to be CrossFit Health. It got rebranded.
To truly establish health. CrossFit affiliates, they're health homes. So it's the CrossFit methodology, it's nutrition, but then you have access to everything else that you might need. You have somebody that is a dietitian that understands nutrition the same way that we do. You have access to MDs, other healthcare professionals, physical therapists if you need it. And you can do that through accessibility to the CrossFit Medical Society. This would be an independent organization where you have all these healthcare professionals as members there that are networking, bringing other ones in. There's peer-to-peer education. They're having events. They are educating healthcare professionals on how to work with affiliates. We are educating affiliates on medical literacy. Maybe we're even building something that looks like a health coach that actually bridges the gap between the clinic and the affiliate. And then that health coach can maybe be on the directory as well. So if you are somebody, hey, I want to find an affiliate who has a health coach who can work with my doctor, and I want to find a doctor who's a CrossFit-like doctor, right? Because I want to do things that keep me in the place where I love. This is the place where you go to.
That's simple as that. Just go to those places. It almost feels like it's more like a way to find a doctor than it is propagating the
methodology,
and the non-exercise piece of CrossFit to the community.
Yeah. The base.
Right. And at This Is Spartacus, John Young.
Great name.
We'll see.
We'll
see.
Strong
Give it a second. John Young is constantly giving bad takes and arguing nonsense. Then has to spend the rest of the episode doubling down and having to defend. So,
well, I think I responded to that. I
have no idea what you said. I think you said you agreed.
Yep.
Correct.
I just responded, I agree.
I do that.
Yes, 100%.
Well, okay.
Okay.
You can hate watch. People do that with Skip Bayless all the time. Which somebody called me that one time. Called me that like I'm Skip Bayless in the CrossFit world. I can't stand that. I do not think I'm Skip Bayless at all.
Well,
I don't think I'm Skip Bayless. I don't think I'm Stephen A. Smith. Listen, I know I yell over people a lot. I get it, but I would argue most of the time I am right when I'm arguing. And I think, and you guys can tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like I'm really good at admitting when I am wrong. Like, y'all are right, I'm wrong. They don't do that. Okay. I'm much more Nick Wright than anybody else, in my opinion. If you want to compare me to a sports person, like analyst. I'm not.
You do have the mountain. So
yes, that he blatantly ripped that off from me. We all know this.
We do.
I don't think Stephen A. or Skip Bayless would like another version of themselves. Do they like each other?
I'm not that. Well, they don't work with each other anymore.
Would you say that you're smarter than everybody else and that Santa is not real?
When I was 5, yeah.
All right. Well, moving on. Drop your comments down below. We'll read them off next week, especially if it's from This Is Spartacus. JY's #1 fan. TYR Cup. The inaugural TYR Cup was this past weekend at TYR Wodapalooza, SoCal. We were there watching on the screen for all 3 days on the Spincast. Had our own opinions, threw out some great comments, kept the live stream chat rolling. So if you were there, you definitely understand what's going on. But then Hiller went out and said, put out a video and said he had some positives and negatives to talk about. And let's see. I want to go through and see, do we agree with what Hiller said?
Martin Luther's, what is it called? What was Martin Luther's things called? These are Hiller's 99 theses.
Yeah, something like that.
95 theses.
95.
So here we go. We'll start off right here.
The freaking floors were soaking wet. Never in my life did I think that I would see somebody like Daniel Brandon come down on a set of bar muscle-ups where all she had to do was 21. And then you find out that the reason that she came down is because that bar was wet.
Oh, well.
I say all of that stuff, but I didn't hear any of the athletes complaining about it. It's like, yeah, the bar was wet. Oh, yeah, the floor was wet. And it kind of reminds me of the NorCal Classic. It's like, yeah, the floor was hot. Yeah, the barbells were hot. But nobody was complaining about it. Nobody was even saying that it was a bad thing. It was just a thing. And when you pigeon that up against the things that people are saying about the CrossFit game,
this is all ridiculous.
It's like, why is it one way for one thing and it's not this way for another thing? I'm not saying that they should be all pissed off at the events for the floors being wet or for the barbells being hot, but I'm just pointing out the difference in attitude. We need to be professional, but only the CrossFit Games need to be professional. But
only the CrossFit Games need to be professional. Do you agree with Hiller's thoughts on the wet floors, the wet pull-up bars at TYR Wodapalooza?
His thoughts on the floor or his thoughts on the athlete's takes about the floor or the athlete's position on the floor?
Yes.
So it is funny because he's holding them to their own standard or he's just saying like, "Hey guys, you're not playing the game fair," and I wonder why that is. I'm not saying you need to be mad. I'm not saying on either side of this. It is odd, and
That there are no complaints at all.
I
Right.
mean, and the two PFAA dudes are.
Could
are on
you
the board
imagine what this would be like if
at the games?
at the games?
So
Yeah,
the
but
obvious-
here's the thing, though. I don't think Valner can pay the games people off where they announce that he's the MVP at the end of the CrossFit Games. And if he knew that was coming, then they're not going to complain. He knows he's going to get this extra 5K that that he did not earn, 10K that he did not earn.
$10,000.
That's so. But no, I think he makes a good point. I almost don't care.
Oh, I love this.
But I think he makes a good point.
I think this is a huge statement. And I think he glossed over it way too fast. It's fine for him to just say, like, hey, Wink, I see you. But it points out some bullshit, is what it does. The athletes TYR Wodapalooza has a good relationship with the athletes. I think the athletes feel like they need to support Waza, keep it going. And
the games they're trying to tear down.
And they have an enemy in the games.
I gotcha.
There's a big statement there.
Mm-hmm. I don't disagree with that.
I mean,
that's
the PFAA is utterly
hypocritical, though.
Yeah, but the PFAA is partnered with TYR Wodapalooza. They've gotten their medical guy is the main guy at TYR Wodapalooza. Both Brent and Pat are TYR athletes. And if this was any other competition, it feels like, especially the games, there would be a huge issue, right? Like, this is unsafe. I mean, I was worried that on the bar muscle up clean ladder, I mean, I was a little worried that, like, what if somebody slips because, they come down, their feet are a little wet and they slip.
A little wonky.
Like, you saw Tia, she put a towel out there to dry her feet off before she started doing the cleans. No one else did that. And I don't know how much it was. I mean, the rest of the rubber flooring could have been pretty dry, and so it wasn't too big of an issue. But I know walking on those rubber mats can be slippery. The last thing you want to do is have something like that happen.
I also don't put it past that, like, maybe it just wasn't that bad, and there's a bigger deal being made out of it. You know what I mean? If they,
Tia brought it up.
They canceled a whole event at Wodapalooza. What it was at 2021 or 2022, and they changed it because they were like, "Well, I don't want to be." I think Rich said, "I don't want to be running on wet floors," or somebody said that.
Right. I'm saying it.
Those were definitely.
I don't think it was. I don't think you could say that without an athlete saying that they were as wet as, you know what I mean, without them saying that.
Well,
why don't you just ask them? Let's just ask Brent.
Hey, call him up.
Say, why is there no complaints about this and there was complaints about that? Why? That should be the next Pedro interview on Brent. Like, that should be the first question asked.
Pedro, when you wake up and watch this, go set up that interview. I do. So Brent McGee, especially because Brent keeps bringing up the wet platforms for back squats as a thing he brought to Dave's attention. Now, that was...
I'm pretty sure Corona effed himself up pretty badly on a squat. Like, and it did not look good.
It did not go well for Alex Corona. And it's a valid, like, that's one thing that you could say, like, this is unacceptable. But you had athletes on the ramps, they're drawing chalk figurines out there with all the chalk trying to keep them dry, like, playground chalk.
Danielle looked like a beautiful mind doing math equations.
Right. Tia, in an interview on the Be Friendly, I don't know if it was on YouTube or Instagram, she commented that it took a lot more effort to go over those because she knew it was slippery and you had to just take extra time to make sure you were steady before you're walking through it.
As Jocko would say, good.
And they're doing the wall walks, all that stuff. I mean, there's just the whole square for wall walks was like just covered in chalk because it was so slippery there.
Yeah.
And so I do think Hiller did a good job of bringing it up. I think
calling out the hypocrisy.
Yes, but it was very subtle and very quick.
It was
right.
It was an I see you. and then I'm just gonna leave it there.
But like I think it should be that.
What?
I don't think it should be.
He should just wink at him and leave it alone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like because like what he kind of did. It was like, y'all are being pretty hypocritical right now, and then just move on. And then if it happens again, like then you start creating a pattern, and then you can say there is a pattern of this. Their BS. They don't know jack. Like they should be in charge of nothing because of the hypocrisy, instead of like going full throttle on one thing. Could be like something, could be nothing. You know what I mean? Like, but then you have evidence that stacks up against them. I think he did exactly what he should have done there.
But jumping back off topic for a second on Hiller's video about the PFAA, because he was trying to bring up a office joke, and he brought up the right joke but the wrong moment, because there's a moment where Michael says a pattern, a pattern, and it's like
Pat took a turn.
And Brent said pattern like 100 times.
Tori Callan, maybe the PFAA has brought these issues to the organizers' attention, and we just don't know about it yet.
I feel like they haven't been vocal about it.
So T-Bird, I am sure the event team is taking the feedback. I would say CrossFit has done the same. Like they have taken feedback. If they hadn't taken feedback or things hadn't changed, it would still look like it was 2011 or 2010, where you're doing rope climbs without any crash pads. Like they've listened to them in cases where they feel like they should listen to them. And there's some cases where they don't feel like they should. And if that's the way you're going to do it, is go through the event, feel unsafe the entire time, and then complain about it or bring it up like, hey, you made us be really safe. That's not how you should be competing. If you feel that unsafe, you need to bring it up immediately.
I mean, I think about Rogue last year, where half the events were done in the rain.
Bethany Shadbird slipped off and fell on her back. That's the last thing she needs.
Ate it on a 40-inch box jump. Yeah.
So this is
okay, but here I know there's a big thing about the PFAA right now. I don't want every single time there's something a little bit dangerous that we have to talk about. Well, the PFAA, you know what I mean? I like it. I like it. Adapt and survive. I know that's not everybody's like MO, but like I don't want this to have to be a topic every single freaking time something like is a little bit sketchy.
That's not the point. The point is that they show their colors about Dave. It becomes very obvious.
I'm with you. But
yeah, no, I agree. I don't think people should cry every time they feel scared.
I'm with you, John. But they've brought it to the forefront, and it's gotten the community rallied around their demands.
Has it?
I have not seen any rallies. They're not about this.
They're virtual rallies.
I'm waiting.
Virtual rallies on Reddit. They are virtual rallies.
I'm waiting for the storm of headquarters announcing.
Just go read Reddit. You will see all of the hate out there. No, I agree with you. But if they're going to be calling for things and saying that, there has to be an independent safety review team, and they felt unsafe when they're competing, and it's because of Dave Castro, you can't just gloss over the fact that all this happened on their CrossFit watch. They're involved with TYR Wodapalooza, and they don't say a damn word about it the entire time.
I want the independent safety team to be called on the scene, but when they come out there, they're in clown cars with tiny sirens.
They pull everybody off the floor.
Unsafe. Unsafe.
All right. Now we get into all of Hiller's positives and negatives.
On to the positive and negatives. Positive number 1, Brian freaking Friend.
Wow.
Didn't see that one coming, did you? From what I understand, they were not going to stream the early events of Saturday and Sunday.
They were not going to stream event 4 on Saturday morning or event 8 on Sunday morning. So Brian stepped up and did it. I agree with Hiller on this one.
Shout out. Yep.
Yeah.
Because we were critical that first day, and if there was a whole event we didn't even get to see,
right,
We
the two
would have
beach
been
events.
really pissed off. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and I don't think anybody knew what was happening early on. But yeah, if you're going to go do this, it's tier Wodapalooza. It's not like it's a smaller competition where you don't expect it. But this is, I mean, it's like it was at FitFest last year. Well, we're just not going to stream it. So
I do think he was like saw an in and pounced on it, but 100%.
From a viewer standpoint,
I'm happy that we had it, and I'm happy that we had it. It was a good job on him.
Yeah, I would agree. Next one.
Well, with Brian commentating on his freaking iPhone. Positive number 1. Positive number 2, the athletes.
Shun the non-believer.
They were having a great time. They were kind of bickering with one another. It seemed like a genuine good time. They had the different teams where they had the North American team, they had the world team, and they were doing this where they were looking over at each other's monitors. They're trying to help out the athletes that were competing at that time. So whether it be that assault bike workout, echo bike workout, whatever, you know what I mean. They're trying to like gather paces. Like, how fast is Emily Rolfe running on the treadmill? How fast do you need to go? All that stuff. You got Tia Toomey coach.
The athletes, the banter, camaraderie. Do you agree this was a positive for the TYR Cup, TYR Wodapalooza?
Yeah.
I've talked to a few parties who were present and a part of that weekend, and a lot of them are saying it was the most fun that they've had at a competition.
The athletes?
Yep.
I keep hearing a lot of talk about this little banter back and forth. Maybe you had to be there, but maybe I missed it. I didn't see it online.
Well,
I mean, there was the whole Say Hair Kaya, and
Say
then
Hair Kaya did that thing, and her sponsors couldn't figure out if they wanted to support her or not. Vellner said that they could have 1 point. I wish Tia would have done more trash talk. I would love, what's funny is I'm rooting for Tia at Rogue, contrary to popular belief. I hope Tia lays waste to the field. I almost want Tia to get more dominant. That way, more people get behind what my whole.
You're
thing
so
is.
wishy-washy.
No. You didn't hear what I just said. You didn't. No. Y'all are not hearing what I'm saying. If Tia chooses to keep going, I want her to be more dominant and continue to just get better and better than way more. The gap just keeps widening where more people are on my side. We're just like, please stop. Right. And she's playing with children out there.
The obstacle is the way.
She's that much better that she's playing with children out there. Like, I wish Tia would be like, guys, I mean, I'm almost beating y'all with scrubs out here. Like, I want her to talk trash to her team and the other team and just be Team Tia.
Come out there in slides and sweatpants.
Right. The fact that y'all beat us by 1 point.
She could have come out with those losers.
I did a whole nother CrossFit Games. And Pat does 4 events and gets MVP. Y'all, it's ridiculous what y'all are coming with because I'm that much better. Like, I know Tia didn't do it.
Gabe's just big Tia fan because he has Paper Street Coffee there in the Proven headquarters. So
y'all aren't hearing what I'm saying. I want her to dominate more, until you guys get tired of it. You know what I mean? I'm past the point. I was tired way before y'all were tired, but now I want Wilt
second win. John's on his second win.
No. I want Wilt Chamberlain dominance, where she just wins every event. There's not even one event somebody can beat her at. And then, until you guys get tired. And then I'm going to laugh at y'all. And I hope she keeps going after that just to make y'all hurt. just to make y'all not want to watch anymore. And then she'll finally be 48 years old and then not be able to win anymore because there's some little 24-year-old that come out of the works and can beat 48-year-old Tia.
When nobody wants to compete on the women's side because they know they're not going to win.
Yeah, I want the women to not go to the games because Tia's going. That's how dominant I want Tia to be. And as we're talking about it, Tia, you're just not good enough yet.
I
want to
actually-
see that. I want to see that. If you really want to be better than Fraser, right now, I think Fraser's the fittest person that's ever walked here. Peak Fraser is fitter than anybody who's ever done anything in the world of fitness. And Tia, if you want to be better than that, I don't care how many games you win because the rest of the women suck compared to you, right? I don't care how many games you win. I need you to be better than what you are. You're not good enough. You and Shane need to get to work because I'm not impressed.
I want the games to end because no one wants to play because of you. I want the sport to die.
Yeah, John wants Tia to win every single CrossFit game until Willow.
The second
joins
she
when she's
retires,
16,
the
and
second
Willow
she
starts
retires,
winning.
everybody's gonna be so happy. Like
And then Willow's going to start winning. Larry Young, $1.99. It was better than I expected it to be.
This is the same thing as saying good as anybody. Good chance to anybody.
Low standards or exceeded expectations? Not sure. Barry
To be fair,
McConnell.
it's something we did not have, and I think we see the potential in it.
Yes.
It could have been so much worse than it was.
The trash talk seems almost staged.
I think they're just bad at trash talk. You throw Taylor in there, like it's not bad anymore.
That's where I thought Vellner's on the his one
Pedro's.
point. No, like when Vellner said 1 point on
That was a good one.
That was a good one, right? Like that was organic. But then when you had the whole Danielle Brandon Gee like listening to the wall being recorded, that's where it felt staged.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. Did you guys really capture this and like were that clever to put it together? Or
I think it's better than nothing though. But like I agree I think like okay, when the world won the event after the moving event, where they had to move all the equipment, the world won the following one, right?
No.
Okay, when did the world? Okay, well, after the moving event, I would like if they interviewed any of the world team, you'd be like if they talked so much trash on Emily Rolfe and how she rolled that ball and how ridiculous it was, and be like, you almost lost, and we we got Gee moving equipment, and we all almost lost because of Emily Rolfe. Like that would be good trash talk. That would be good trash talk. You know what I'm saying?
I got some inside information on that. Would you guys like to know? Yeah. She was given that advice by her teammates.
Well, none of her teammates did it.
To roll the ball.
She
like
was
a dung beetle.
She was given that advice by Adam Neefer, the best coach in the world, and the 2024 Lazar Jukic MVP award recipient, Pat Vellner.
Okay, well, let's go rewind the tape. Let's go rewind the tape and watch how Pat Vellner moved that ball.
He didn't use it. I don't think
he did. Yes, he did. I watched him pass up Ariel.
He was sabotaging.
Ariel changed real quick when she saw him.
He was worried that Emily was going to get the MVP award and told her, just push it forward. And then he goes out there and looks blazing.
And if
fast.
that's true, then they're retarded. Okay, you're better than that, Pat. Like you should lose the MVP on that alone, that advice alone, because you're smart. He's smart, and he didn't do it that way. I don't get that advice if he didn't do it that way. If I was Emily, I'd be like, "What the heck, Pat?
What'd you do? You just threw me under the bus."
Here looking like I'm in preschool and
like
I don't know
a
how
real
to walk.
athlete.
Yeah, looking like a real athlete out here because of the advice you gave me.
Yeah.
But like if they were to trash talk about that, you know what I mean? Like Gracie lost to Emily.
That would be freaking amazing. If they just rode Rolfe for that ball.
Yeah. No, but then that's what I'm saying. And then like when Emily won against
Where's
Gracie.
Emily? Oh, she's still pushing that ball.
I think we all thought I think we all thought that Gracie had a good shot at winning that, and Emily kind of won it convincingly, right? Because Gracie blew up on the burpees. Right. Like, if Emily started talking trash about that event and be like, "You're only good for 3 minutes, huh?" You know what I'm saying? Like had that's the type of trash talk I think would be great. Like after event, post event, pre-event trash talk
She
instead
shit
of
on
like,
herself. So glad I didn't go hard on that ball.
That's
Saved
where-
it for that.
yeah, she could save it that way. She could save it that way. I was just rolling that ball, so I had a little more on the bike.
See, I
Look
wanted.
busy, Emily. Look busy.
I think they should have mic'd the athletes up like Savon mic'd up Hopper and Dallin, like
Yes.
at Wodapalooza, because that's where you would have captured it, right? Throughout, it just kind of.
I mean, I don't think they were doing much talking during that event, but I mean, after the event.
Yes, after the event, if they have that on them, and then you just capture it after, that would have been pretty good.
If you had mics on,
Yeah.
and like Pat starts rolling the ball, and he passes Emily. He's like, "Emily, what the freak are you doing? Like,
You're so slow.
Emily's like, no, it's working.
Jeff gets the worm. Get out of here! I got it. I got the worm.
All right, next one.
Good. Positive number 2. Positive number 3 were the events.
You're soothing to me.
This is one where I kind of weigh my personal opinion on positive versus negative, and overall it comes out as a positive because honestly, I thought that a couple of them were too long. They start off very cool, and then after about half of it, you're like, okay, it should have been over by now. And then you remember that it is a fitness event, and some of these things kind of need to play out in order for the fitness to come through. And if it were any shorter, it would be one of my common critiques that I would have at a local event. It's like, all the workouts were too short. And
The events,
I disagree on this one.
Tyler.
I think it's an all-star game, and I think these are our best people, right? And I think it should be. I think they should lean into it being a showcase and not a fitness competition. It's not the CrossFit Games. I want to see the freaks do freaky things. I don't care about the balance. I think you should have long events. I think you should have the 3K row, 60 burpees, and 3 mile, however long the run was, but maybe 2 less long events than they had, because they had like 4 of them, and then the others are very short, but like testing whatever you want to test, right? I think the bike burpee event, run event, was like one of the best events they had. I think the gymnastics event was really, really, really fun.
No one say this ever again.
That's not what I'm talking about at all, Jared. Like, that's the worst comment
Jared,
ever. I'm talking about CrossFit ability. I'm not talking about party tricks.
I'm so it's the laziest argument that people make. Oh, it's just a cop-out argument. Because grid exists, we can't do anything. Everyone stop making this argument. Stop acting like grid exists. Even though I like grid, and I'll admit that bias. Just because they do it does not mean that you can't do anything. Because it's dumb. Because you think it's dumb, don't shit on CrossFit trying to do something and be like, oh, you just want grid. No, that's not it. That's not what John's saying at all. Continue, John. Sorry.
He parentheses, the freaks do freaky things. I'm talking about our best. I want to know what the CrossFit's elite, they're the best people we have, the fittest people in the world. I want to know how fast somebody can do 10 legless rope climbs, how fast somebody can do a 50 cal bike. Even though there's some 250-pound guy that just has all the power output in the world that can do 50 cals faster, right? I want to see Brent dying after that 38 seconds, and then who can recover the best after the burpees. Gracie's slowing down and Emily picking it up on the burpees, her beating her in that. Nobody thought that was going to happen because of Firestorm. And it did, right. And then it did happen. And then Gracie even held her own on the run, right? The run, she held her own and died. And you see Tia just jumping for joy that Gracie was keeping up with Emily. That's what I want to see. I don't want to, and I'm not saying do away with the fitness. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there was too much. There was too many long events. I think it should be more of a showcase of the best that we have, and not necessarily a well-rounded fitness test. Because it's our all-star game. And if you build it out as our all-star game, I think it will grow. People will get into that. They want to know those type of things. What we, they want to see that.
You guys have talked about the combine. You guys were hoping for it at Farrington Field, but max rep bench press And
No,
seeing
even
two
that,
people
I'd
have
be like,
never
it might
done
be
that.
stupid, but I'd watch it.
225.
I
Oh
would
my
watch
God.
it, and I would be entertained.
It would be so much fun.
Right. Like, and you flip a coin, see who goes first, right? And then somebody puts up a number and you got to try to match it. Like those types of things.
You could do a 40-yard dash on the beach. I don't know it's not
Oh,
measurable,
man.
but it would be so fun to watch and see who does who in a 40-yard dash on the beach. I know you can't, like, it's not measurable to whatever because it's on the beach, but just stuff like that. And I mean, like, if you ask people what was your favorite event, my favorite event was the bike Barbie event. My second favorite event was probably the gymnastics event. And I know Guy is super skilled, but for him to go rep for rep with Bellner in that, like, it was awesome. It was awesome, and Guy deserves credit for that workout.
I mean,
right?
I think everybody will agree. The gymnastics, the bar muscle up clean, and the metabolic spotlight were the three best events all week. Yep. What do they have in common? They're all fast. They were all pretty close. And then exciting.
It's ability based and not fitness based. And all I'm saying is you take away 2 long ones and you put in 2 more of those. And then you're good.
I will push against John, and I think Hiller did the nice take. I like that there were long events, but they could have been written in such a way that you could have essentially done the same thing, but that athletes switched in and out more. There's more strategy to it. There's more happening action on the field. There's more of a race feel. Whereas we're just watching, I don't know, the last event or whatever, or the handstand push-up event. It was like we were just watching
2 minutes in, you know exactly what's going to happen.
We weren't watching anything.
We weren't.
And then we see, okay, Tia's going to beat everybody. Okay, Danielle and Ariel are next. Oh, Seher Kai is right behind them. Emma Tall is backing it. Like, we weren't watching the event at all. We're talking over the whole thing. And then we're just seeing where they finish so we can track times, so we can tell people how the points are going to go out. Like, we're not watching the event at all. It's like the first event at the games typically, whenever they do the long run or the long swim or whatever. Yeah. We are not watching the event at all.
That 21-15-9, that 21-15-9, 9-15-21 just beat down was rough. Watching all of them go. Like, again, after the first round, like after the run of 21, you knew who was going to win.
Yep.
And you still had another 15 minutes left until this thing was over.
So somebody finished so the other one could quit.
Right. I want to see it close race. This is a fun exhibition. Again, the 3 that everybody liked, it was close.
Yep.
And it was exciting. You saw upsets. You saw lead changes. It was fun. Next.
Like how they would have like certain athletes, and they bring me to the format.
What did you want to be?
So like the events were cool, and the formatting of the events was cool. One athlete goes out and do that. One of the coolest events would have been that bar muscle up workout with the cleans. You go, and you see a whole bunch of a shakeup that you wouldn't expect. You see Anola Kai beat Justin Medeiros. You see Seher Kai beat Daniel Brand. It's like
the format. Different team, spotlight, CrossFit Games team, Miami format, all hands, individual. Do we like that?
Yeah, I like the format a lot. I think the difference, like, 2 guys one time, 3 girls one time, whatever, however they did different types of events. I like that a lot. I like that Tia has the ability to do every event. I like if she wants to do it. I like that. Yeah. I don't think there should be rules on that. If BKG wants to disappear for the whole competition, he's allowed to do that.
He did the most events of any man in
I feel like I never saw him except the last event when Tia was telling him to go.
It's because he lost all but one, I think.
Okay. But I liked the format a lot. I don't think they should do anything different with it.
The format matters less than how you write the programming.
For sure. But like how they did it, I like the different types of things.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't change that at all. I like that you can have more people. Like, and even though like I wanted on that 21, whatever it was, the ones where we were like, Jesus, this has got to change. Like, even if you want to test like a synchro sort of thing, it's like, okay, 2 synchro, and then the you can trade in and out and stuff like that. There's a bunch of ways you can still test synchro, even though not all the athletes are playing at the same time, and still make it more of a race feel. instead of just like a slaughter. I heard that a lot of the athletes actually felt really beat up by the end of this.
Yeah, I mean,
I know Gracie, Emily, Dallin, and Brent probably all felt the worst. Whoever did that metabolic event,
He felt ready to go.
And that's
for a
why it
whole
was
nother
my
thing.
favorite event. That's probably why they picked her not to do it, so she could do the rest of the events.
Right,
You know what I mean? And Gracie was going to be good at that event, right? So like it's very rare for you to see athletes, especially of their caliber, the fittest athletes in the world, to be that vulnerable after an event. I mean, you see athletes crushed and you see them tired, but like Brent was not going to make it to the next event. He was just going to stay on the floor for an hour. You know what I mean? Like it just, you got Justin with 15 ice bags on Dallin, right? And I like seeing those moments because I don't think you get them a lot. I know there was one moment with Vellner like throwing up after the Fran in Wodapalooza, the Fran bike workout, I think.
Yeah.
I had like never seen him that bad. I've never seen Vellner in that bad of like shape, not fitness wise, but like just crushed wise. And I want to see more of that, right? Because you don't get a lot of that. You get them finishing the workout, but they're so fit. They recover so well. It took them 9 minutes and he still didn't look ready. Like that's awesome. That's awesome. And I want to see more of that stuff.
Lee Frazier, if it is a team event for the fittest team, all should get the same play time.
So here's the thing.
I disagree.
LeBron's
going to play more minutes than Austin Reeves.
No one cares about the fittest team. That doesn't mean anything. We care about who the fittest human is. But at the end of the day, when you say team, you're talking about strategy. You need an underdog to be able to win because they out-strategize somebody else. I understand your feeling here, but in reality, we don't care who the fittest team is. We want to see David beat Goliath.
I don't care if David beats Goliath because
that's what you want to see.
Goliath
that's
is
what
on.
Unless it's team.
Yeah, but
that's the entire reason Josh Bridges exists.
Goliath is on David's team though here. Like it's a little different with what we got.
None of us thought that Team World was going to be in the same stratosphere, and they lost it in the last two events.
It was pretty much done though.
But not up to
the only thing that was unexpected was the worm event. The only thing that was unexpected was the worm event.
Dude, they were. We talked about it, and everybody thought they were going to get half the points of North America.
Yeah.
I mean, I said 8-5, man. It was 1 point off from
1 point off from
one event. No, if the worm event, if North America won the worm event, it would have been 8-5. I said that before it started. I don't think that's that. Like nobody saw that they were going to do that. We all knew Tia was going to win the last event.
Did we?
Tia and BKG. Yes.
Did we?
We all predicted it. We all said it when it came out. Y'all were all on Team World. You're muted.
Yeah, you're muted.
Who is?
You were.
You were. Your mic has been doing weird stuff. It feels like it breaks out and then like kind of goes back in. Have you tried turning it off and then turning it back on? He looked at me like, shut the hell up.
That was funny, Tyler. Here, talk, Spin. Nope, you're not. You're gone.
Please hold. This is where we need like
all right.
that.
We spent a long time in this. Do we want to go to MetFix and chill?
Just because Spin's out doesn't mean you get to call the shots now.
I know he could nod his head. I'm asking for his approval.
Blink once. This is where we need that scene from
my back.
Yep, you're back.
Yeah,
it's
that scene from Cat in the Hat.
The roadcaster just stops. So it's working, but all of a sudden the audio doesn't keep coming through.
What scene are you referencing?
There's like a scene where he's freaking out, and this is in the live action Cat in the Hat.
I got you. I know.
And he says, "Hold on." He's like, "Hold on, baby." And it's like a guinea pig holding on to a tight wire. It's like when the TV used to break back in the day when they had to have technical difficulties.
Gotcha. The only scene that plays in my head with the Cat in the Hat movie is when he says, "You dirty hoe," and he's talking about the gardening thing. And then I'm sorry, baby. I don't know. That's the only scene that plays in my head. That and thing 1 and thing 2 when they come out to play. But
Mine's a favorite when he's going to beat the old lady in the back of the head and they back him off of it.
It's a random movie.
So, yeah, we'll move on to MetFix. I think real quick, what one thing would you like to see changed? Well, I'll give you two. What two things? Because I have two. Would you like to see changed for next year to make it a better experience, competition, etc.?
We each do one at a time.
Okay, you want to go first?
Go ahead, Tyler.
At least 2 more teams.
Okay, that's not what I was
No more than 6. No
Athletes?
less than 2. Teams.
Oh, teams. Okay.
I like the world versus North America. I think if all of the world comes out to play, then I would rather have like an Australian team or like a Oceania team, an Oceania team, a Europe team, a North America team. And then that's probably it. I'm good with 3. I guess you could have a world team for everybody else. That's what you'd have to do. But Roman would have to play for the world team.
So I know you guys are so region based. I want 4 teams, but I want to bring 6 people per team. So it's just 24 athletes. I think trying to get 32 is tough.
Yep.
I'm with it.
But they all show up the day before and there's a live draft.
I would love that too.
So there's 4. You vote for the cap. The
it'd be hard to keep up with. It'd be hard to keep up with. They would need jerseys and
Yeah, but they had jerseys this time, right?
Yeah.
So, but you vote for the captains. The captains know it coming in, and then they show up, and you do a live draft that morning, live stream. Pick your players, and then you go.
And captain should be hopefully the CrossFit Games champion, female and male. Those are 2.
And the Miami Wodapalooza champions.
Well, that's 4. That's 4 teams, though, not 3.
I said that.
You said 4?
I said 4
yeah,
teams.
Dude, I'm down. I'm down for that. And if they're the same person,
goes to number 2
second place at Wodapalooza. Oh, I was gonna say Wodapalooza.
Either way. Yeah.
If we go with the All-Star Games idea, that's a good idea.
I'm super down for that. That you could make a whole show out of that.
Right.
And
watch the draft.
Last pick has to run a mile on the beach because they're the last pick. Because they're not fit enough to be not the last pick. So they
gotta get fitter.
Yeah.
Tyler, do you have another thing you'd like to see work out better?
Oh, I didn't see it. I didn't say my thing.
Oh, I thought you agree with Tyler.
No, I disagree with Tyler. I wasn't going to say more teams. I was going to say, just like the world, the best of the world, is what I would change. So if Ricky was able to do it, if Roman was able to do it, but I mean that's self-explanatory. Yeah, I like yours a lot, Spin. I'm down to get on that train.
There he goes again.
You cut out, Spin. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with my number 2 while you're fixing that. My number 2 would just be the programming, and we've talked about this already. More of a showcase, less of a fitness competition.
Yeah,
Tyler,
I agree with that.
That's your number 2 as well.
Yeah, my point about the programming is you just have to. You know what? Since you've already covered that one, and I do agree, mine would be more focus on the storytelling on the screen, because there seems to be so much difference in people who I've talked to who were there are all it was amazing. And everybody who was home is the seats were not filled and it was okay. And I'm that's a very different thing. So you have to be able to be better at telling the story visually on the screen. The timers put up at the right time, counters for everybody if all the athletes are going and they're all doing essentially an individual workout. Give me more reasons to care. And the score and the time does that. If you don't have those up, you have to have those up. So just more care to the storytelling on screen.
Yeah, and there were a lot of times where there weren't a rep score. They did it on most of things, but there were times where there was not a rep score where we're we have no idea what the moving event. I like events like that. We have no clue what's happening. None.
Right. You know what's funny is I really enjoyed the moving event, and It was kind of it was not for any like fitness reasons. I just liked watching them do it.
Yeah, I like just going to work events and just seeing who's better. Like freaking
It's like the wheelbarrow. It's like the wheelbarrow workout.
Yeah, it's like the wheelbarrow workout. Dallin took my heart with that workout. I'm like, Dallin is the MVP, man. He's just going to work. Like, if I need somebody who goes to work, Vellner is very good at this too. But there was a lot of moments for an event that just didn't mean a lot, or like we cared for a lot. Jeff taking the worm by himself was such a BA move, such a BA move.
Yeah. And that's the thing about that event. There's so many things that like are storytelling moments that are great. Rolf rolling the ball like an idiot. Pat not rolling the ball like an idiot. Jeff just essentially picking it up by himself, and then immediately Dallin right after picking it up by himself, and then the Team World not picking up on any of these hints. Like, we have more stories from that one event that we really didn't care about the fitness of it or who was where. It was just comparing the athletes.
And I don't want to care about the fitness of it, because that's what the freaking games is for. That's what Wodapalooza is for. Is the fitness of it. This is just to see what people can do. Like it's not.
I just want to see a close race. Like, make it exciting so that it comes down to the end, which is what I'd like to see different. Is Sunday be more individual head-to-head matchups, such that there's like 6+ points available the last day, so that even if it is a blowout, if whichever team is down has a great day and you get great matchups, you can come back and win. So make Sunday worth a lot more points, and you can do that by having individual matchups that way. My mic is terrible. I don't know.
You're fine.
You're on your room mic now.
Yeah, you're on your. But like, if it means you're not cutting out, you're fine.
Okay. Well, better than nothing. All right, moving on. MetFix and chill. Over the weekend, while everybody was looking at Huntington Beach, Greg Glassman, Emily Kaplan released MetFix, and I think a lot of people might be curious what it exactly is. I will do my best to explain what I think it is, listening to some people talk about, their take on it. If you read on brokenscience.org/MetFix, he says it's nutrition education coupled with world-class exercise instruction will return us to Greg's mission of professionalizing the personal trainer. Like, that is the sentence that I read is what they're trying to do. Right. So nutrition education, if you watch the reel that they posted, previewing it, it's talking about like they're coming after big soda, big pharma. Obviously, Greg's talked a lot, obviously, about sugar consumption and eliminating that. To me, it seems like they're almost creating a central hub to share these ideas and information to affiliates. I guess the question that I don't know is this a replacement to CrossFit, or is it a supplement to CrossFit?
I think that they would say that. I think they would say in a very political way that it has nothing to do. It's just for anybody who wants to coach and understand nutrition. In reality, I mean, like, you should definitely know more about nutrition. I think it's a big weakness in CrossFit coaches' repertoire is understanding nutrition and like having that conversation with their athletes first. Like, that happens very rarely at any CrossFit gym I've ever been to. You usually have to seek a coach out and like kind of approach them about that. Whereas it's not really integrated into the class or part of the offerings. And it's like, so it's good that they're offering it. It's just, what's the long-term goal here?
John?
No, I agree with what Tyler said about, like, you don't see it. You don't see that like involved.
What do you do with your
class? But
do you have any nutrition conversations with your athletes?
I just tell them general rule of thumb. I'd go 40, 30, 30. And then if you want better body composition, go 33 across the board. If you're trying to gain, like if you're tired, then increase your calories. Most of the time I have to tell my girls to eat way more than they are.
But it's pretty basic conversations. You're not going into like, this is what you see if you ingest this at this time in relation to your training.
No. So like I tell them what I do, not saying like it's super healthy what I do, but as far as like I don't eat until 11. I don't mean to intermittent fast, but it turns into that. Like I know Rich kind of does that too. But I think if you hit your macro count, as long as you're eating enough calories, you are fueling for performance. You're not fueling for how you look. That's a big thing. And most of the time they are under eating. And then if you're trying to lose weight, I'd go 33% across the board and still not. And I'm getting that from Bergeron, the 33% across the board. And then I eat 40, 30, 30 for performance. But, and I'm talking macros, 40% is the carbs.
Right.
And if you go body weight and protein, the rest of your calories fill themselves out. Like if you set your body weight at grams in protein, then you have the calories that you should be eating. Right. And like it's just filled out for you because that like you start with body weight and protein and then the rest of it you just go. Some of them eat much. We do not go into like what's clean and what's not clean. And if they're good,
you're not the person to be saying that.
I know, and
the secular route. That's good.
I know what's clean and what's not clean though. I just don't care. Like I want to eat for performance, and as long as my body is recovering and feeling good, I'm not Taylor. I don't want to be disciplined disciplined with it.
I don't want to be disciplined. What do you think, Spin?
But I'm saying I'm disciplined in my macros all day. But if I'm not, and I know when I'm like I've had way too many carbs, but I don't like it's. I think your diet, and I tell my girls this all the time. It has to be something you can do every day. You can live with every day. And if you cannot do it, like if it's a diet, you're not going to survive like that. You're going to end up overeating one day. Like it's just not going to be healthy. It's not really good mentally. You need something you can do every single day.
What do you think about Broken Science Initiative, MetFix?
Well, I'm going to go through some comments real quick. I think it'll explain. Vindicate, can we all agree the name needs help?
No, it's perfect.
Okay. And then Trish is on fire. Trish, CrossFit members won't show up for a nutrition lecture. And so that is my quick take on this remember in 2018-19 when everything shifted away from the games, all the social media went away. It was like old people lifting jugs, and we're going to just focus on the methodology and, nutrition. And the community kind of like fractured at that point a little bit, right? I go back to 2013, 2014, and the Russells, right? They're fighting Big Soda. They're fighting all of like the big battles as part of CrossFit. And I think people got behind that.
Yes.
I don't think people get on that if they're not already on the train. Like okay. I don't see people.
No, I agree. I mean, I'm not gonna go to a lecture on nutrition.
Like I don't.
If I'm being honest with y'all, like I'm just not. I don't care enough to do that. I'm talking about me personally.
Yeah, but there's a congressional hearing 2 days ago. I think it was on Monday. It's like 3.5 hours long. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. was there.
What was her name? Was there?
Was me the mean Kaylee Means and Jillian Michaels was there. There's a whole bunch of stuff like clips on Twitter about it. And so I was like curious, like, because this was some of the people there were part of this end chronic disease organization that Don and CrossFit are now part of. So I was like, maybe Don was there. I don't know. So I went to go look through it. It was a 3.5 hour hearing where all these people were talking, and all the clips are great, but I can't get myself to listen to 3.5 hours of it. And so that's where I don't know if it's going to succeed from that standpoint. Right, without knowing more about it, like just hearing and seeing this one page, it's not exactly clear of what they're going to do. I'm fully on board with fighting pharma, fighting big soda, fighting, and trying to get that information out there. But I don't know if it resonates enough to have a community that's diehard about it. I don't know if that makes sense, but
So you think this seems like a lot of money and it's a big push and it seems organized. So you're like, yeah, I'm calling your bluff. This is not what this is.
I just don't know if it gets the backing.
You wouldn't.
I don't think it gets the backing that it deserves to get.
Sure.
Right. Like more people should be all about this and push it and stand behind it. If it's what I think it might be, I just don't know how many people. Like how many people have gone to Broken Science on their YouTube page and watched one of the lectures? The views aren't up there. Yeah, but the views aren't up there, right? It's not even close to what the CrossFit Games get. Like it should. I just don't think people will do it. Greg was talking about separating the efforts today on Savant. I know he called in. I tried to listen to some of that, but it was near the back half of it. So I didn't get through all of it. So I'm curious to see how it plays out and what the offering is. But if it's a replacement to CrossFit, I'd have to see what that means. I guess.
TBD on MetFix.
Yeah.
I've been busy this week, but I'm going to look into MetFix.
There's not a whole lot out there.
Well, I'll get on their page and poke around.
I mean, you can try and take a look at it. There's a blog post I think I found that has a little bit more information on it, but again, it's very cryptic. I signed up. It looks like it's for trainers and gym owners, but you pick if you're an individual. So again, I signed up as an individual. I don't know what that means if I'll get access to anything, but yeah. Trish and her husband have watched all of them. I don't disagree. It's just a matter of, does it build the community and like people that rally behind it as much as the effort probably deserves. So, all right.
I know.
Well, we know, Ross. We talked about that last week. All right, we got 16 minutes until Savon comes on. It's time for some blind rankings.
Time to get John stirring.
Yeah.
Pep up, everybody.
We'll see. This one might be it's not as good as last week.
Oh, man.
Sorry, they can't all be CrossFit trademarks. This week,
protein bar is the best.
You're pretty close. You guys are going to rank the brand marketing. Which brands in the CrossFit space
have the best brands?
Best marketing. The best
all
marketing.
Right.
So when you think about these brands, do you like how they market out there?
We're going to 100% lose the bottom two.
Nice.
Possible.
These are
possible
none of these are sponsors we have ever worked with. So there's
right.
No,
so we're going to
actually have a major in biology. Thank you very much. But yeah, I was out.
Here we go. First one. Best
brands
that market. RP Strength.
5.
4.
I think that they live a little too heavy on the fact that they were like hot in 2014. They own a lot of the market, so I guess They are known in a lot of the market, so I don't know that it makes sense for them to like do a crazy marketing push.
You don't think Rich Froning's post every once in a while sells you on it?
No.
I mean, I'm fine with 5. I just feel like there's probably something worse coming. So, but like I'll rock.
Is it memorable? Like, could you name besides red anything that their marketing is?
No, but I don't think this will be the first thing that I think that. I'm good with 5.
Right.
5.
But I just think there's going to be something. What if it's like, I don't know, man. There's bad stuff out there.
ESC Sounds, I can't use you.
Best save that top spot, boys.
We've worked with you, so we can't. Yeah, it'd be rigged if I did that.
I like that.
Meme for time. RP crushes marketing on YouTube. It's not who does the best marketing; it's who we like the marketing.
It's who we like the best.
Yeah.
What do you know? Meme for time.
Yeah. Views doesn't always mean anything.
Yeah, go make a meme or something.
Ice Barrel.
I think their marketing is pretty it's pretty good.
What? Show a naked girl?
I mean,
Getting into Ice Bucket.
And they do it outside of CrossFit. Like any good butt is good enough for them to get in an ice barrel. So
yeah, I agree.
They are getting you to buy $1,000 plus barrel of plastic.
Okay.
For every barrel comes a butt.
They're obviously selling plenty. Their booth at the games was massive, so they're obviously selling a whole bunch of those things.
I remember them. It's at least a 3, maybe a 2.
All right, let's go 3.
All right.
They have been a sponsor though. I'm going to call you on your BS. At the games.
Tier.
I mean, I feel like they are doing everything. I almost say you have to say 1 just because they're everywhere.
It's 1 or 2.
Every athlete's wearing their shoes.
But does that mean their marketing is good? Their ads.
I think their stock is only going up. I don't think it's going
I
down.
like the way their shit looks. It all looks clean.
I'm saying a year ago, or let's say 2 years
ago.
2 years ago, had you heard of Tier? And now they are the main CrossFit thing.
I don't want to confuse branding.
You can't say Wodapalooza without saying Tier Wodapalooza.
Right.
It's in the contract.
And people outside of media who have been asked to do it are now referred to it as Tier Wodapalooza. Like that's pretty good marketing in my opinion.
That's a pretty good point. I don't want to confuse marketing branding with dollars pushed. Like they put more dollars into their branding, but that doesn't mean their branding is better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fine. I'll go with 1.
Okay.
John, I'll let you make the call.
All
1
right.
or 2.
I would say 1.
All right.
I just don't know a brand that's more prevalent in the space right now.
Trish, we got 350 viewers.
Like if you just said shoes, and Nike popped up, whether you're an Adidas guy or not, you know Nike's number 1.
Fair.
You know what I mean? That's how I feel about Tier right now.
Fair.
Trish remembers when it was just her and Sloppy. That's true. If you if you're watching and you haven't subscribed, go do that now. We got to try to get 9,000.
Ortega makes a good point here. Rad doesn't have as much money to put into their marketing campaigns, I don't think, anyway, or they aren't doing that. But when they put out media, I like it a little bit better from time to time.
A little bit better versus a million things
they're
more.
Not spending as much money.
Yeah,
to me, it's about the brand. It's not about the dollars that are being invested.
Yeah.
It's about the cleanliness of what you're doing.
I'm with you. I just think the dollars play it into the role too. You know what I mean?
That's fair. That's fair. We just differ on that.
And like
point.
you don't dislike Tier. You just think, other people have done, you like other things a little bit more, but you still think Tier is clean.
Right.
I'd say Lu Xiaojun is number 1 if it popped up, but it's not going to pop up.
Right. Chase, my mic is off. The Roadcaster is being very, very difficult, so you're going to live with my audio for now.
I can try to get
that
to
guy
work.
that shows up late.
Yeah, I will try to get to
Oh,
work.
real quick. That's a good point. I saw this in the comments. What about Born Primitive? I would probably say Born Primitive would be number 1.
I think they're number 1.
Okay, let's go tier 2 just in case that pops up. I didn't think about Born Primitive.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, let's go tier number 2.
Their marketing campaigns are good. They get me revved up.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
They're my main CrossFit shoe too.
All right, here we go. Rain.
4.
To your market, I mean, it has to go to 4, I think.
They haven't done where it rains, it pours. And until they do that, they are number 4.
That's a good point.
Best.
You just came up with that this weekend, though. They haven't had a lot of time to think about it.
Tyler came up with it. I don't want to take credit for it.
And Rain, if you need more of those, my brain is ready to be paid. I can come up with those all day long.
My brain is ready to be paid. I should start saying that. That should be something I say. My brain is ready to be paid.
And next and final, 3, 2, 1 podium.
Nah.
No, Chase, don't fall for it. I made that up.
I said that. I tried to give you credit.
Podium's branding is pretty good.
Yeah,
I
I
really do like
agree.
their-
I just don't use it.
I don't
like-
think they're number 1.
We should have left
But
tier
they're-
number 1, but but I don't think it's a bad list.
What I will say, though, that matters to me a lot is products that are good. I don't give a shit if your branding is terrible. If you have a good product, so Strike, they don't put a lot of media out. They don't put a lot of marketing out. I think their shit's really clean, and I love their product. What I will say for Podium is that I've heard that their stuff is trash. I don't really take supplements, so I don't know, but I've heard it's garbage.
There's
and
a lot of filler. It's a lot of flavoring.
You know who I think would be number 1 is freaking Frog Grips. I feel like they've taken the world by storm, and their marketing with their athletes. I feel like they put less money into it than Tier, and I think they're like the hot thing right now as far as grips go.
It's kind of crazy when you can get a grip company to take over where Victory Grips exists and Bear Complex exists.
Yeah,
both great branding.
I mean, only the best brands.
And their packaging is very, very pretty.
Everything they do is clean.
Yeah.
Code SPIN 10, save 10% off Frog Grips.
That was not a paid ad. That was all genuine.
Yeah. JC, are Frog Grips actually good, Tyler?
Like fucking glue, dude. They are so sticky. And then the wrist, like the part where it straps to your wrist, is thicker than all the other brands, so it doesn't eat into your like wrist as much. And then like just the quality, everything feels really, really nice. So
yeah. That is blind rankings. Last but not least, in 7 minutes, Emma Lawson. Unless there's a massive surprise, it's the last athlete announced on Rogue's page. Emma Lawson is out. Any reaction about hearing Emma Lawson taking a time off from competing?
Sorry, before we get too far away from Frog Grips. Yes, they're like the composite ones, not the straight up leather ones. We have bars at my gym that are slick as snot, and they stick like glue to those. So anyway, I am not surprised. Are you guys surprised?
I'm uncaring. I'm not surprised or not surprised. I'm just like, okay.
No,
yeah,
you're not okay. I mean, she's the 4th teenage athlete who's now stepped away for at least a portion.
Not doing Rogue is not stepping away. There's a lot of people who don't do Rogue, and it's in Europe. It's traveling. It's different.
I think Scotland, if anything, enhances people wanting to go to it.
Yeah, but like if you're like on the borderline, you just don't want to travel. Like she's 18, like I get it.
I think if
she's like she's older than that, but
I think if news didn't come out that she was debating not competing this past season, it wouldn't be as big of a deal. But you've had Emma Carey, you've had Hilly Adams, you've had Mal O'Brien, now you've had Emma Lawson. That's 4. I mean, only one out there is Olivia Kerstetter at this point.
She's not saying she's taking a break though, dude. She just doesn't want to do rope. Get off her back. Gosh.
Back up.
I'm not on her back. I mean, it's fine that she does it. I just think it's
I'm not
four out of the 5 teen athletes.
Yeah, I don't need to. You need to tell Jack that. I don't need to know that.
No, I mean,
It's the way you said that.
I like it.
I truly think it means nothing.
What do you think, Spin?
If she says he clearly thinks the opposite. But it's a competition that invited you, and you're like, I don't want to go. Like that. People have said no to Rogue before.
I heard she doesn't like Scottish people.
Yeah, she's just racist,
she's
man.
racist.
She's racist against Scottish people. Leave her. Like she hates Pedro, and she doesn't ever want to go on there ever again.
You know those Canadians be hating the Newfoundlanders and Foundlanders, and they're from Scotland and Ireland. So Newfoundland. Yeah. So
yeah,
it's racism. It's just racism. Just
that's it.
Some good old racism.
She just hates Scottish people.
That's it. That's it.
She's a big Edward Crookshanks fan.
Yep. Longshanks the fifth.
Longshanks. I said
you guys
big Edward Longshanks fan. Yeah.
So you guys don't think it's any story that 4 of the top 5 teenage?
No,
women.
I don't. I think you're doing her a disservice by putting her in that boat.
I'll agree with John, but I will also agree with you in that I think she's being smart. I do not think she's like the other girls in that she knows that this competition, it could be good. It could be mediocre for her. I don't think this is her best competition. But she doesn't want to do it. She is feeling burnout. She's told they put that video out. And so she's like, no, I'm out. I think it's actually a smart play.
I agree.
I don't think it fits in line with the other girls. I think she's just being smart.
Well, I mean, I think Haley's stepping away for Haley was a smart play. She needed it. She came back better this year. We'll see what happens with Emma Carey. Who knows what's going on with Mal.
No, we won't see what's going on with Mal. Mal's done. Let's never talk about her ever again. I don't care about Mal. I agree it's a thing. It's a thing. It's a thing. It's been established that it's a thing. If you're a young girl, Trista, you better have a happy life because you're next.
You got 2 years left.
Okay.
Sorry.
Like get your ducks in a row now because
Trista's
I mean, like,
been doing this. She's been doing it the right way. She was like, yeah, I'm going to college. I don't know if I'll do any good at this or not.
Yeah, I'm
like that was the right way.
I'm just.
But she said that a year ago, and then she almost made semifinals. So who knows that attitude has changed.
Olivia's doing the same thing. She's going to college and just like saying, if I make it, I make it. But I'm doing the college thing. But it 100% is a thing. If you are a young girl that is fit enough to make the CrossFit Games, like there are pressures that come with it that mentally y'all just can't take. All right. So either, you need to be prepared mentally. You need to be prepared that it's going to be really hard somewhere mentally. And it's unfair to say this is just girls. I would say that the girls are better than the guys when they're younger. Dallon's the only one that had to deal with it. And he said that he had hard years too, but he just, kind of stuck it through. But he had a hard year where it was really, he got depressed. He said that. But there's a lot more girls that can break in the CrossFit Games than there are guys. So they get a little bit singled out. But 100% it's a thing. You need to be mentally prepared for it. I don't think Emma Lawson is the same as Mal, Emma Carey, or Haley. I think it's a completely different thing. Agree completely with Tyler. We know it's a thing. She knows it's a thing. That's why she's not doing rogue.
That's why she's bailing.
All right, I'd like to keep arguing with you. Everybody thinks I'm being dramatic. I guess I can just ignore it and just say it doesn't matter.
If she says she's not doing the Open, if she says I'm not doing the Open this year, I need to take.
I guess my point is like
then you're right.
Rogue is, if anything, as big as the CrossFit Games to some degree, and you're taking the time off. Like if we're gonna make a big deal about Haley taking time off, and even bigger when Mal said she wasn't going to compete. I think
it's not the games. It's not the season. They took the season off.
Okay. Well, no male athlete has said no to Rogue.
Well, they're not men. It's 2024. You need to get on the right side of this. The men and women are different.
We're
I
dumb.
heard they're the same.
Well, We'll run right into a freaking brick wall and not even care.
So, look, I'm not saying that it's wrong to do it, that she's some bad person that, but I think
you're
it
a bad
speaks to a
person
bigger
for talking
issue
about
within the
this.
sport of young athletes competing. What the answer is, I don't know, but y'all need to chill.
Emma, I'm a fan of you, Emma. If this ever gets out to you, I'm team Emma. I'm with you. All right, that goes to all the Emmas out there. There's a lot of them.
Me too,
Okay,
Emma.
Even the strong women Emmas.
McQuaid, Carey, Tall, Lawson. I'm team Emma. Y'all do what you have to do. I'm not like Spin, who hates you guys.
Me too, Emma.
Yeah,
I support your racism towards Scotland. Keep it going.
Yes, I'm Scottish. I'm Scottish. That's my that's my ethnicity is Scottish, and I'm hate it all you want.
Hate them.
All right. Well, my mic sucks.
That did
John
not go
sucks.
how he thought that was gonna go.
I don't like this episode. I wasn't giving it a 10 out of 10, but I am definitely not at this point. So, yeah, I'm going to. Yeah,
Your thing's broke.
You can't get it to work.
it doesn't even work. I'm out of here.
I love this show. I think it's the best episode. I think it's a 10.
This show is terrible. Roadcaster sucks. So I'm leaving. I'll see you
Good
guys
brand,
next week.
though.